What's going on, garden nerds? I have biochar. Biochar in my hands. I am finally experimenting with biochar and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. Are y'all ready? Let's go. Today I am experimenting with biochar. It's something that I've been enthralled with ever since I found out about Terra preta in the Amazon rainforest. Check it out if you haven't heard about it. I went down that rabbit hole, but ever since then I have been curious about biochar. So today, here's what I'm doing. I have charged this biochar, which I'm going to show you how I did that at the end of this video, but here's how I'm going to experiment and see if it even does anything, see if it's worth my time. So I have some hibiscus here. You can see I have this pool deck right here, and what I'm doing is, one, I'm planting a Roy Poinciana seed right here. This thing is going to grow up in shade right here, but along my pool deck, I want a hibiscus hedge. So I decided to kill two birds with one stone, and I'm gonna find out if biochar does anything to this hibiscus. So I'm planting two of the hibiscus right here in ground. Hibiscus 1 and hibiscus 2. Hibiscus 1 is only going to get planted with compost, premium compost from Arizona Worm Farm. But hibiscus 2 is going to get planted with compost and with this biochar that I just got done making over the past week. Okay, and then here, just because I want to have two different experiments, I'm going to have hibiscus 3 and hibiscus 4. I'm going to keep them in their pots, at least for the next month or so as I experiment. One is going to get biochar in the pot and I'm going to water it. The other, nothing at all. And then we are going to see. Things I'm going to check for, I'm going to check for health of the plant. I'm going to check for how many flowers they get. I'm going to check for growth of the plant if it grows faster. And we're just going to see if I see any difference between my charged biochar, which again, I'm going to show you how I made that, my charged biochar, and then nothing at all. So let me get started. Here's what I'm going to do over here. I already dug the holes. I dug the holes, you know, I don't know, maybe 2 times bigger than the actual pot. I tried to keep them, this hole was having a little bit of issues with drainage, so I dug that deeper, but then I filled it back in. So right now they're sitting in, this is how I'm gonna plant them. I always plant everything I do a little bit above grade. And everything I plant now really has, when I backfill, I put in 75% native soil, 25% soil amendments. Here's what I'm gonna do today. 75% native soil in here with 25% compost, again from Arizona Worm Farm. But then in here, I'm gonna do 75% native soil, and then I'm going to do about 10% of biochar and 15% of compost. So let me get to work and get that done. Okay, so when I start backfilling, some people will mix everything up like in a wheelbarrow to get it perfectly even. I don't really do that. I just have all my native soil here and I just kind of sprinkle it in. Like I said, trying to keep a ratio of 75% native soil, 25% soil amendments. The reason I do that, when I first started planting a lot back here, I put in like 50% soil amendments, maybe even more than that. But what I learned is with time, everything's gonna have to go and grow into the native soil anyways. And what I don't wanna do is create a pot in the ground where it's like this hole that I dug with this nasty clay soil everywhere and then just put tons of soil amendments in it. The plant is never gonna wanna grow out of that hole that I created. So I essentially just created an in-ground pot. So that's about the extent of all the compost I'm gonna do. Sorry, I got talking and probably put in too much than I normally would have. So now I'm just gonna fill this back. But I always do top dress very heavily with compost and other soil amendments, worm castings, things to that nature. And you can see this is high. This is higher than grade. You can see it's coming up pretty high right here. Again, the reason I do that is because I know that it's going to settle because of this hole that I dug. So it's gonna fall, sink back into the ground. And then also trees and shrubs always do better as they're planted higher. We don't want to suffocate the root system. All right, so now I'm gonna leave this one for now. I'm gonna come over here, and here's what I'm gonna do. Now that this is in the ground, and I may go a little overboard here with my biochar. Biochar, guys, I have charged this, and I'm gonna show you how, but you don't wanna throw uncharged biochar, which is really just charcoal burned at a specific way. But I've charged it with good nutrients. If you don't do that, again, it's gonna leach, it's gonna suck all the nutrients that are already existing in the ground, and it's not gonna be good. So I've done that. Let me do some native. I'm gonna come over here, get my good compost. All right, that's probably it on the compost. A little more biochar. I've never experimented. This could be a dumb thing. Could be a good thing. We're gonna see. One thing that people worry about or say when you're here in our very clay-like soil and high pH soil is that biochar is going to raise the pH. I believe that to be true from all of the research that I've done. I believe that to be true if you're applying uncharged biochar. But again, with charged biochar, that should not be the case. All right, grab a little bit more biochar. This does work. This sunset hibiscus is gonna grow out of control. By the way, guys, I tested this drainage. I dug the hole, I filled it up with water, I let it drain. It drained within an hour or two, then I filled it up again, and then it drained in about 12 hours. If you can't do that within a 24 to 48 hour period, you don't have good drainage. Keep digging. Keep digging, keep adding soil amendments until you do have good drainage. Come in here and just kind of top dress. And of course, I'll clean off this pool deck so it looks good. Eventually, this is gonna look awesome with this hedge of awesome sunset hibiscus. It's my favorite hibiscus. The leaves are the prettiest on the sunset, in my opinion. Bought these yesterday at A&P Nursery. They always have an awesome hibiscus selection. Now I'm just gonna water this stuff in, and then we are going to see. Help me remember, I'm documenting this for you, but also for me. Hibiscus 1, just planted with compost. No biochar. Hibiscus 2, planted with a good amount of biochar. Hibiscus 3, I'm not gonna put any biochar in here. Hibiscus 4, I'm just gonna take a little bit and I'm just gonna put it here in the pot, and then I'm gonna water this every day, and we're gonna see. Because I wanna test in ground, but I also wanna test in ground, right? So in pots, in raised beds, as I do vegetable gardening, things to that nature. And now you'll notice these all have a very similar, they have the same microclimate. All other factors are going to be essentially the same, besides these ones are in pots, these ones are in ground, this one has biochar, this one has biochar. So I'm gonna follow up with you over the next few weeks, over the next few months, and we'll see the difference. All right, now come over here with me and I'm gonna show you how I charged the biochar. All right, so how do you charge biochar? First, what do I mean by charging biochar? So this is biochar. This is biochar that has not been charged. See this? This is just a piece of charcoal. Now the crazy thing about this is this has so many nooks and crevices and crannies and surface area. If you took this and expanded it out so that you pulled all the surface area off of it, it would be as long as a football field. What does that mean? That means this stuff can grab on, it's positively charged as well. That means it can grab on to all of those nutrients, phosphorus, iron, things to that nature. It can grab onto them and then make them available to your plants. So what do we mean by charged? Okay, I took this biochar and I put it in. Here's my compost tea. Inside of here is Arizona Worm Farm compost And then down in here, it's brewing. Microbes are growing. There's nutrients. There's minerals inside of here. And so I took uncharged biochar and I just dropped it in here, okay? So I took a bunch of scoops of this stuff and I drop it in there and I allowed this brew to go for 24 hours. And it's just charging, the biochar is just grabbing onto all those nutrients, all those minerals, all that soil life. It's grabbing onto it and holding onto it, and it's gonna hold onto it when I put it in the ground, okay? So after I did this for 2 days, then I shut it off and I allowed the biochar to just kind of like marinate in that tea for another 2 days. I went and I stirred it a couple times so it wouldn't go anaerobic, but I stirred it a couple times, and then boom, after that, the biochar was charged. All that good stuff that was in that tea are now collected onto the biochar. And so now I put that carbon into the ground, and there he is. We're gonna see with the experiment, but there he is. Now those plants and roots have so many more nutrients to grab onto. It improves soil structure. It improves water retention. It does so many things, at least that's what they say, and we're gonna find out. So that's how you charge biochar. That's how I planted with biochar. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna show you updates over the next few weeks. We're gonna see if it even makes a difference. If I think it's making a tiny difference, I'm gonna put it all over my yard and we'll do even more and more experiments. So that's what we're doing all. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, if you have any tips, if you've done this before, let me know. I would love to hear them, and I'll see you in the next video.